There we
We'll
go.
let Jenny get settled in, and then we'll be good. Good morning. You had a fun morning? Today is September 10th. I'm calling the Westborough EDC September meeting to order. Good morning to everyone. That meant a good morning back.
Good morning.
All right, thanks. Okay, so I have a little different style than Todd, I think. Super excited for today. Thank you for everyone for coming this morning. First thing on the agenda is the meeting minutes for last month. I was not in attendance, so I'm going to abstain from voting. But we'd like to get a motion to approve. Did everyone get the minutes, number one, and review them?
Yes.
Yeah. Any changes or anything from anyone?
No. Motion to approve the minutes from August 6, 2024, with thanks to Kristen for some very nice minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Second.
Second. We need to do a roll call.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Keough, yes.
Gingras, yes. Coker abstain.
Henderson, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Leonardo, yes.
Penny, yes.
Rayleigh, yes.
Thank you. Meeting for August 6th, the meeting minutes for August 6th have been approved. Thank you very much for that. So today's always a fun day. It's the grant day today. We have 4 grant applications on the docket for today. And do we have everyone here representing?
Yeah.
Who we need to?
Everybody's here to
Everybody's here? Great. Okay. So I'm just going to start with Simply Windows. So come on up. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice
So,
talking to here. Is this working?
I'd like to make a quick motion for this is for parking lot improvements, which I think is, I put a note in the online document that it's aesthetic improvement. So I think that we should add another 10 points to that rubric for that. Everyone agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, it was one of my comments.
All right.
Agreed.
Good morning.
Hi. Yeah, so I bought the building in 21. It needs a parking lot, but more so I think if it's not done by this winter, we're gonna be a little bit in trouble because it's starting to buckle up, and if the plows hit it, it's just gonna deteriorate. So just for a working thing as well as aesthetics, it needs to be done. So I've been saving, but as you know, small business, you get hit with bills every day. So this is what we're looking to do next. I don't know if you want a little background on the business, but
Yeah,
I
that
have
would be
5
nice, yeah.
employees. So I started like 15 years ago out of my house, but during COVID we got busier, and so I decided I needed a building. I purchased this building and it's been wonderful. It's really great. It fits all of us, so it works well. And I slowly added people over time, so I have now 5 employees. And we just are renting a space in Boston too, because we're trying to expand into that marketplace. But yeah, the parking lot's been like the big, the big expense that can't be quite done yet because we save and always seems to be a little short. So
Okay.
that's why we're looking for that.
Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
I can, would you be willing to go through this project without the EDC?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Would you be able
do-
to do
do
the
the
grant
project?
without the project, without the grant?
Yeah, maybe not till next year though. It depends on the, sales, a lot of things obviously, right? But right now we
Okay.
have the opportunity and kind of need it to be done this year, but
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sorry, how big is what's the total cost of the project?
the cost of the project's $30,000.
Okay.
You kind of printed out a little weird on the application, my
Okay.
apologies.
Yeah, no, and I
That's
saw,
good.
you had 2 different options, but it sounds like the full resurfacing is the way that you'd like to go on that one, correct?
Yeah, we've gotten quotes for just kind of fixing things, but it's not going to be lasting,
Right.
so.
So this is gonna be long-term.
Yeah, I don't want to do something that's going to be a Band-Aid that doesn't work over time.
And you're requesting $5,000?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, okay. All right, well, thank you so
Makes
much.
sense.
Appreciate that. All right. Well, there were no other questions, right? Sorry. All right. The Fresh Monkey. I missed your ribbon cutting, but come on up.
Where's that? I had a presentation.
Yeah,
Sure.
come on up. Good morning.
Is it okay if I can give out a hand?
Sure, you can,
Sure,
you
yeah,
should be able to plug in there, or you can hand out something, whatever you like. Sure.
How are you this morning?
Good, man. How are
Good.
you guys?
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Patrice, thank you.
So the Fresh Monkey is looking at doing some signage for their grant. And again, this is a long-term investment. So for number one, I would like to suggest adding 10 points to this rubric as well, because it is investing in the building. Any questions or everyone agree with that? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You have to just plug in.
Don't have the right cable. This is, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a converter.
Yeah, so I'll just put my computer like this probably. Sorry guys. So, Fresh Monkey just opened this year at Westborough Plaza. By the way, my name is Patrice Conchu, owner of the Fresh Monkey. Let me do this. Okay, the keyboard is reversed, so I gotta figure it out. Fresh Monkey was founded in Glastonbury, Connecticut in 2014 by a lady named Judy Flynn. She got tired of, she's an athlete, she was athlete, and then she got injured, and while training, rehabilitating, she had struggle finding good smoothie, good fresh smoothie, and everything she had did not have the proper nutrient, and it has preservative, which she wanted just something that was natural. So she went from her kitchen, and then she thought, oh, maybe a lot of people out there will have the same problem as me. And then she went to a gym, and then she started Fresh Monkey. And today there is about 10 stores in Connecticut. And I have the same journey. Back in 2015, I wanted to create a smoothie with the same struggle. Going through the menu, I was not as genius in the kitchen as she was. So I figured out with my full-time job and trying to make a shake, it's not really that easy, right? The shake has its own science by itself. So I put the project down the pillow. I'm like, I'll probably my retirement project. And I was driving around, get to this thing and love it. And I was like, why not try to make that project becomes true now? So I start trying to find a place to go, a place to establish. And I made my way through Westborough. And one thing that was very prominent with Westborough is very business supportive. So as I come here and trying to find out what to sign for my lease, what to do, I had like a team behind me telling me what to do, where to go. It wasn't like that with other towns. So I was like, if they're this nice, probably this is the right place to be. So far, it's not wrong. So
We can't see we can't see your presentation, so it's fine.
You can
Why don't
see?
Yeah, just
Oh,
talk.
all right.
Just talk through it.
Okay,
It's okay.
so opened in June 24th this year. And find out one thing really quick about town of Westborough. As a small business, it's not easy to make sure that people know that you are there, right? You try your best on social media, you try your best with talking to people. And I had a really smart idea. I'm like, how about I put some flag out? And I put some flag out on the street, and then the next minute the flag was out. I had a visit from the town of Westborough. You don't do that in this town. Like, wow, okay. I guess I'm gonna sit here and just talk to people, and, you know. So I removed my sign out, and it's been struggle, right? The business was kind of okay as we opened because people were curious, right? The curiosity, and after that, I thought the town, like, people left the town in August. Like, nope. I'm like, what was going on with Westborough, right? It's been picking up small a little bit, but not really. And it's amazing that I still have 20% to 40% of people today walking in and say, hey, I didn't even know that you were here. So that means we're not doing good with advertisement. We're not doing good telling people where we are. And one thing we're trying to do is put a proper sign either on Route 9 or on Mill Street so people can at least have their attention. Since we can't put road sign, we have to do a proper signage. And just to put a pylon sign on the building was $10,000. This one is going to be probably more. Can we do it without you? Not really, because it's getting dry in their bank account without the business running. So.
It's hard starting a new business,
Yes,
so congratulations.
So,
We've
thank
all
you
been
very
there.
much.
Many of us have been there, so
Oh,
hang in there.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
And
you,
I,
guys.
and I agree that you could use some good signage. Yeah, exactly. It
Questions?
depends upon how you enter that plaza, whether you see his signage or not, so I understand that.
And you're requesting $5,000, correct?
That would be very helpful. Thank you very much.
Questions?
Where
Comments?
does the sign, where's the signage going, Patrice? Where would the signage go?
So the best perspective would be to have it on Route 9.
Right,
I find out that the parking lot belongs to many people.
right,
And Route 9 belongs to Ocean Job State.
yep,
So I have to talk to Ocean Job State and see if they can allow me to put a sign over there.
okay,
If
gotcha.
not, then I'll have to reverse to Mill Street.
Gotcha.
Next to, probably close to where you see the Papagenos
Yep,
or somewhere closer.
okay.
Got it. Good.
So, sorry, Patrice, you need permission from the other side of the parking lot?
I don't have the permission yet. Ever since I moved there and then I heard that, I've been trying to get in contact with the person who owned that parking lot, with Ocean Job State. It hasn't been easy. Send email, don't get a response. So I'm still knocking on the nail to probably have a conversation if they can allow me to do so.
But either way, you're going to do sign on either
I
side.
have to do sign. If I can't do the Route 9 is the prominent road, but
Mm-hmm.
if you can't do Route 9, then Milk Street, at least you will get people coming into the town this side of the road. So
Gotcha.
that's the secondary place.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, one last question. So, on the Route 9 Street will be in the marquee, it's already up?
Oh, that big pylon sign? That is Ocean Job Lot. So they own the building all the way with Planet Fitness and Tractor Supply that stops there. 166 Milk Street belongs to a different vendor, which is VTT Management and the owner. So that's a different building, and they don't have authority over that side.
Right, but so if you did Ocean State, it would go into the existing pylon?
I'm hoping they will be able to
Okay.
allow me. If not,
Thanks.
at least they give me option to, like, you can put a sign somewhere. That would be really on the virtue of their goodwill. Or they want to rent me the place, which that would not be the best thing. But one way or another, we have to make sure that people know we exist.
Great.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Okay, and next up, we have Lindsay Taylor Spatik. Good morning.
Good morning.
Melissa, we don't get to see you very often. We see Allison a lot.
I know.
Yeah, this is exciting. It's like
I'm
a,
like the secret.
yeah.
So I'm Allison Lindsay Giamarco,
And I am Meredith Colheave.
and so we are the owners of Lindsay Taylor Spatik here in Westborough. We used to say boutique spa, but we have grown, so I'm not sure how boutique-y we are anymore, but offering self-care services here in Westborough for 8 years now. We will be celebrating 8 years in business next month, which we're thrilled about. We did a big renovation and move in 2021 and moved up the street. We are obviously, well, we hope it's obvious, a women-owned business, and we also employ 18 people in our business, and those employees have now, become very Westboro-oriented and are now having their lunches and picking up their dinners and doing their shopping in Westboro as well, and in addition to all of our clients as well. So our clients are probably about half of them from Westboro, familiar with the area, but I'd say about half of them are from out of town and do come in to do business with us. And we really carry forth the mission of the EDC that we are there to make recommendations for other businesses in town, and that we send them off to places where they ask about. So we have one client I know that comes in once a month and gets her hair cut and then goes to classic consignment every month. That's her little Saturday to herself. So we're really, really proud of the fact that we can share these other businesses with our clients and with our employees. And everybody knows about the trucks under the bridge now. So, and the other thing that we're most proud of in our business is that we are very community oriented, and that we do as much as we can to help the schools, the churches, anybody that asks us for in-kind donations for their raffles or silent auctions. We have never said no to anybody. We're also very involved with any town events that we can be, as far as like the winter stroll, the downtown trick-or-treating. So we really do our best, and that's been a mission of ours from the beginning, is to be as community involved as we possibly can be while running a small business on a shoestring budget. Which you can take over now.
So, today we're asking for, it's kind of a running joke in the salon and spa that the washer and dryer are the hardest working things in the place. This summer, our washer and our dryer, we have 2 washers and 2 dryers because we do a lot of laundry in-house. But 2 of them, the 1 washer, 1 dryer, went on us. Unfortunately, in the summer, when, like Patrice said, it's slower, it's quieter. This is like, we feel like the first summer after COVID that people are actually like having a normal summer, and it was quiet. So in July, around July 4th, we had to purchase a new washer and dryer. So we're asking for grant money to go towards that because they're the hardest working things in the place.
Questions?
No? Makes sense.
Questions? No?
Yep.
Okay, that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Rocco's, disappointed you didn't bring any kind of snacks for us this morning, but, we'll let that slide. Good morning. I'm good, how are
On
you?
this one, if I may, too,
Yes.
my fault, but we didn't nail down the long-term lease until recently, so they do have a long-term lease at the facility, so they should get an extra 10 points for that as well.
Perfect, thank you.
Good.
You're up.
My name's Vinny Estrella. I'm one of the owners. Me and my dad own Rocco's Donut Company. And I'm sorry I didn't bring any donuts today. We actually aren't open today.
All right.
So
I'll forgive you.
I wasn't even able to. But we are working on that. So we are open Wednesday through Sunday. We're looking to expand, actually, just the days because we need to, want to.
People love donuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I share the sentiment about where's everyone going Westborough in the summer? I don't know. Beach houses. But so we basically last year installed a in-the-ground grease interceptor in our parking lot. We make everything centrally in our Westborough store there, and then distribute it to our smaller locations in Central Mass. And so we don't have any kitchens there, so that's all the heavy lifting is done there. And so that was a costly expense for us, so it would be obviously retroactive because we already put the investment in. And that all in was just shy of $50,000 to put that in. And so now that's installed, and I know it's good for the town pipes and all that stuff, which is good. But it was expensive, so we were just we had heard about the EDC grants, and we're just looking to get any help that we could with that. And
So I noticed in your application that, the town had come to you and that was something that you needed to do. That was an unexpected expense that you didn't know about, correct?
Correct.
We've had that discussion a couple of times with a couple of different places, so just wanted to kind of bring that up.
Yeah, if I may, though, the only thing is, when was the installation completed? Penny?
Want to say it wrapped up July of last year.
Yeah, so technically, it has to be within the calendar year, 12-month period from the application, so
Okay.
you'd have to verify that it's actually, would have to be technically, I suppose, August or September. Depends on how you look at the round, because if he applied in July,
Any thoughts from this committee?
And I suppose we could, what, tentatively approve upon validation, or? So yeah, we couldn't, we obviously couldn't consider it our next meeting.
no.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
I don't know if it would be tied to when we got our final sign off. Because I want to say that was, when did they come in? Actually, that might have still been within that same time frame that we finally got the building permit that had that all in the same.
So if it was signed off in July of '23, is it still eligible?
If the application was in July of '24?
I think we got that finally, like that, the project for that was done, but then our final sign off for like everything, because it was part of like a build out on the interior too. I don't think that got signed off until earlier this year.
It was a long, drawn-out process, because it took a while for them to install the grease trap, because obviously the expense, they had to dig up the ground. There was interior renovations as well that were tied to that, which is a good point. I mean, if it weren't for the grease trap too, they did interior renovations. That permit may have been closed out closer to '24,
Yeah.
because we did go back and forth on that for quite a while.
So I just asked my office to look into it, and it says DPW said May of '23 was when the grease trap was installed.
Okay. But were there other parts of the project?
So I guess we can look into it,
Right.
but it's just because we don't have the document in front of us. The program guidelines specifically say that we
1
don't
year.
consider reimbursement for projects more than a year previously.
So we could push this to the next meeting if we're able to come back and confirm that there was portions of the project that took longer.
Yeah, the interior renovations.
If
So
I was
does-
able to look up
Yeah.
when we get that final sign off. I could-
Yeah, you
wouldn't
can tie the equipment that was, they added equipment, they had to expand out their facility as part of that, the expanded business, and to do that, to serve other branches that they have, so.
Yeah, so we'll do, I think, want to make a motion to, if you want to get the documentation for when you finish the interior renovations, when that was signed off.
Yep.
So clearly, we all want to give it to you, but
Yeah, yeah.
we have bylaw, we have rules that we have to
Totally
follow.
understand.
So want to make a motion to move that,
To defer
to defer?
the decision on Rocco's until further documentation can be reviewed.
Is that your motion?
Does that sound like?
Yeah.
That's my
Second.
motion. I'll go
Okay.
with it.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Well, I
You
guess
have to
we gotta
take
Oh,
go.
yeah, roll call.
Yeah,
Keo, yes.
Coker, yes?
Henderson, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Leonardo, yes.
Williams, yes.
Kenny, yes.
Rayleigh, yes.
Okay, so we're going to defer yours until next time.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
today.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, man.
All right. So that's the grant applications for today. We have one deferred. Let's talk about Simply Windows.
Can I ask a general question?
Of course.
Chair, if I could. Have any of the four, including Rocco's, applied for a grant or received a grant before? Does anyone? Because I'm newer to the committee.
Lindsay Taylor, you
Yeah,
guys have, right?
Taylor
Yep.
says.
Fresh Monkey has not, and Simply, you guys haven't, Kenda, right? Have you applied for a grant before? No. No, okay.
And again, because I'm newer to the committee,
Yeah.
sorry. Is there any language about that? I mean, could people essentially apply for a grant each year if they wanted? Like, is there?
Yeah, I think there was
limit?
something, I believe they are eligible to reapply.
Okay.
There's
Is-
no prohibit, it's not prohibited. Generally, if somebody comes to us 3 times in a year, you're still
Yeah.
gonna,
Great.
Yeah.
I think it was a while ago that you had originally applied.
Yep, I just,
Awesome.
curiosity, okay.
So Simply Windows, with the additional 10 points for number one, so that brings them up to 55 points. 55 points. They are asking for $5,000. We have, how much, is this a new round for us? Is it, do we have? It is.
Yes.
Okay. So we have the full amount, 60,000. Then we'll talk about the frequency in which we're going to do these in a little bit. But anyone want to discuss Simply Windows, $5,000 for parking lot?
I'm in favor of all three projects. I'd just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Does anyone have any objections to Sean's? I'm in favor of all three projects as well. But
Yeah, I'd second that, yes.
Holly?
Yeah, so without fully funding the three, correct?
Yes, so Simply Windows is 5,000, Fresh Monkey 5, and Lindsay Taylor 22, was it?
2,000.
Even two.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Anyone want to make a motion to approve all three?
I'll make a motion to approve all three.
Thanks, Scott.
I'll second that.
Sean seconds it. Roll call. Ginny?
Jingers, yes?
Coker, yes?
Henderson, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Leonardo, yes.
Williams, yes.
Keo, yes?
Penny, yes.
Rayleigh, yes.
All right, congratulations to all three grant applicants. And Rocco's, we expect to see you back here, so.
Right, see you next time.
Thanks to everyone, so you guys are all set. Thanks so
Thanks.
much, appreciate it. Good luck with
Thank
that
you.
parking lot. Okay. All right, that was painless. Is that okay?
Right? Good businesses,
Always feels good to give money away.
right,
It's my first time doing that, so.
right?
Good job.
All right, moving on in the agenda. All right, so let's talk about the rubric itself. Once Fred comes back.
Right, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make sure since we were talking about.
Because that was my question. So, this discussion.
Karen?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I'd like to have a discussion about some of the things on this when the room is cleared. Yep.
right,
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
part of this evening.
Yeah.
it's part of our meeting today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to talk about the rubric. Are you putting it up, Fred? Is that what you're doing?
I'm gonna try. I was
Okay.
getting some kind of ad that was blocking me. Sorry. So you do have the rubrics in your package.
So I wasn't here last meeting, so I put a couple of my notes in, sent over to Fred. So I'm going to start with the new business one.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So a couple of things that, you know, from the last meeting and a little bit of what we put is, and Holly, you can jump in when you, because we had a lot of input here too, but the people don't quite understand what the BB zoning district is or downtown planning overlay, so it's helping them to, adding what that means onto the rubric so people can understand what that means. And then the receive small business counseling, so the business one-stop through the town. I think that's a really important thing to add, because a lot of new businesses that come into town don't know that that exists. And I think, Patrice, you said you had the one-stop, right? That was your team behind you, kind of letting you know what to do, right? So I think it's very helpful for the applicants to know that that's something that is available to them in town. And then, Fred, do you want to talk about the matching funds a little bit? The mass storefronts program?
Well, yeah, so that, we put that in there. We've had a couple applicants actually apply for state relief, tax relief. They have gotten, there's, again, 2 applications where they went into a storefront, were able to, it was vacant for more than 12 months, they were able to get state funding. So we have in our application that we can fund up, the committee can fund up to $10,000 if they get any kind of matching funds from the state, federal, whatever it may be. So the one that we mentioned, and I should have, I did it on another one, but that mass vacant storefronts is actually spelled out. I apologize, I didn't do it on this one, but we actually had that acronym spelled out. So when you see the next one for the existing business, you'll see that.
The other ones that printed out is it.
Yeah, I
has it on
printed out.
both.
I
Yeah.
did print out
It did,
here.
yeah.
I don't know why it didn't show up here, but anyway, so the idea was if anybody came up with a matching fund from another source, this committee could then match that up to 10,000. So it was open. It would not just the mass storefronts, if somebody else was able to find some other kind of funding source.
Okay, perfect.
There's a couple other things too, Sandy. It's
Yep.
hard to read on this, and I apologize. It's in red. You can see it a little bit easier here. The committee had talked about changing the number of full-time jobs, so we decreased it on this from 2+ and 5+.
Yep.
So those are a couple of changes. And then the note on the very bottom.
So just to be clear, if they're going to create 10 new jobs, they get 5 points for the 2+ and 5 points for the 5+, so they'd get 10 points total.
Yeah, we could do it that way.
I mean-
We can consolidate the line like
We
we did
don't
on
have to
another one.
consolidate, I just wanted to be clear. I mean, in other
Sure.
words, it's not like you get 5 if you're 2+, or you get 5 if you're 5+. I mean, so
No, it
you'd
should
be
be-
checking both of those,
Right.
right? If you're adding 10 employees.
So, maybe we could do a 2 to 5 in one line, 2+ and then up to 5. Do you know what I mean? So you get 1 point for one job, 2 points for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is your max.
Well, we can do it either way. We can do it as one line, or we can change it to, where it says 5+, that becomes a 10-point. Just simply make it 10. But if it's less
Right,
confusing.
then you wouldn't get both. I
Right.
just don't want it to be confusing. I mean, the people applying see this rubric?
Well, so that was a conversation we had last time, and going forward, we'll make that more of a push that they do see this going in. Part of the application is that these questions are asked so we can ascertain whether they're in the rubrics or not. But I doubt that it's been very clear in past times that we do use the scoring rubrics, and this is what it is, and this is how you're scored. So we will make a concerted effort going forward that once the committee's kind of looked at this and we've had a general agreement, that we'll use the new rubrics and show that to the applicants as they come in. And actually show them kind of how they score on that.
Right, great. So I think you go with a line that says create 2+ jobs is 5, create 5+ jobs is 10.
That's fine. I'll make it
Right?
one line so it's easier to read.
Because otherwise you're checking both of them and it's a little
Yeah.
confusing as to, I
So
think.
my thought is to do one line, it's up to 10.
Yeah,
So you get a point
5
for
to
each
10.
job. You
Oh,
get
point per job?
Point per job.
Per
One-
employee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 through 10. So 1 employee, 1 point, 2 employees, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, up to 10, 10.
well, we can do that too.
This makes it easier.
Well, but part of the reason we lowered these was to make it a easier hurdle, right? 'Cause it was
Right.
3 and 7, now we voted to 2 and 5.
Gotcha.
So now really 2 employees is only 2 points.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I mean, you could say each employee's worth 2 points.
But then we're still at 2 instead of 5 points.
No, but then if each full-time employee's worth 2 points, then 5 employees is 10 points.
Gotcha.
2 employees is 4 points,
Yeah.
but.
Thoughts?
I'm more, if it's more than 5, it's 10 points. It's more what I would think towards, yep.
I guess the tough part too is if you then have a significant sized employee come in, it probably maxes out at 10 points.
Yeah, let's
but-
max it out, yeah. We can max it out at 10.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I'll do the 5 and 10 points. Sounds like it's sort of the consensus on that.
Okay,
one.
5 and
And
10.
Down East Main Street, how far? When you say down East Main Street?
Well, because it goes to approximately CVS, I'd have to look at it again, but we get into the gateway when you get past ostensibly a lot of the businesses, then you
Yeah.
get into the gateway, which are really not retail businesses. You got some offices in that gateway, and Simply Windows is actually, I think, on the cusp of all that.
That is correct. So that's why I was wondering how far down East Main Street, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's not all the way down East Main Street,
I
certainly.
didn't think so.
No.
Okay.
If it's past McDonald's, is that too far?
Oh, yeah, gosh, yeah.
Okay.
The gateway starts, downtown business actually stops somewhere around CVS-ish.
Right.
Okay.
So it doesn't go that far down East Main Street.
Yeah.
Could we add a link to the GIS map here, maybe, so someone could look up their zoning district?
Great idea.
I just think that this is more of, I mean, we talked about this last time, this is really our document for
Right.
scoring, and while I think it's fair to share it with the applicant, we have a whole other document that explains the program.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where some of the information that we think people might not be clear on might belong.
So we're deciding whether or not we're in this district, right? We're saying, oh, here's the location of your business, yes or no, you get those points like that.
Right.
I don't think the business needs to know.
I would agree with that. I'm not sure whether, I think,
They're not gonna locate based on whether they're downtown, and if it's existing, they are where they are, kind of. This just explains a little bit more to what that means, that downtown business district.
any other thoughts?
And the other key was probably already picked up on it, but we'll make a little bit more emphasis on the presentation. That's always been kind of lax on our point, that we've said, yeah, you gotta come in and do a presentation, but, you know, we can put a little bit more emphasis on that a lot of times people aren't prepared for that. And they were, I mean, they answered all the questions and stuff, but we can put a little bit more emphasis about a formal, quote unquote, like a formal presentation.
Okay.
We haven't done that in the past, per se.
Okay, looks good.
I have a question. I asked this before, and I don't how relevant it is or what is the benefit of having a requirement for you business occupy a first floor?
I didn't
I
see.
think we lost
First
you.
floor.
Why
The-
first floor?
Why first floor?
Why, yeah,
Oh.
Say that again, sorry.
Why is it on the rubric to occupy the first floor?
I don't remember why we did that, unless it was the vacant storefront. I think that part of that was you also had to be on a first floor location, if I recall. I think the emphasis was to get the visualization of a storefront as opposed to an upper level.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that should be like 5. I think it's a high point, because if we're bringing jobs in, whether if it's not retail, if we're bringing a company in that has employees and they're having the traffic, like Allison was saying earlier, you know, you've got lunch here and all these things, so I think the storefront, if we have the last one with the vacant storefronts, that kind of covers that first floor.
that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I don't want to, you know, a business that, you know, legitimately brings new jobs and whether on the second floor.
Sure, that's fine.
So go to 5 for that one?
It's fine with me. It seems like it's a lesser
Yeah.
requirement.
Okay, moving on.
Now, moving on. And
Just vote to approve those changes?
do you want to just wait to do them all together?
Oh.
We can vote to
Okay.
approve the changes. You want to make a motion?
I vote to approve the requested changes to the rubric.
To the new business rubric.
I move, I guess, I don't vote, I move. It was just the new business rubric.
Sure, I'll second.
Great.
Keo, yes.
Fingers, yes.
Coker, yes.
Henderson, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Leonardo, yes.
Williams, yes.
Penny, yes.
Rayleigh, yes.
Perfect. Thank you. That is fixed. All right, thank you. Let's move on to the existing business. changes here. Again, we're talking the same thing, the downtown business district and down East Main Street, same as the new businesses. Project adheres to the but-for principle, requires budget detailing project. So, and all the applications that we're requesting for existing businesses did include a budget in their packet. Thank you for putting all that together, Kristen, that was great. Businesses operated in Westborough for 5+ years, 10 points, 10 years, 15 points. That's a change that was talked about. Project entails an interior renovation of space, which is a new addition. Businesses will be using matching funds of 50% or more. It's also an addition. And the presentation, as we spoke about with the new businesses, will also be emphasized as well. So those are the proposed changes to the rubric. Is there any discussion around that one for existing businesses?
Just going back to the first storefront, going down to 5 on that one.
Agreed on that one? Anyone else agree?
Sure.
Yep, okay. Scott, you've been quiet. Any comments? Oh, he's,
I know, I agree.
okay. It's like a teacher calling out the student.
So I will also add that we were asked to look at how this fit into the master plan. So the rubrics themselves and the concept of the scoring meets one of the economic development goals. So that is covered there. And then I went through individually. We looked at some of the individual goals, and those are also covered by the economic development goals. So that a lot of the rubrics does fit into the master plan, as an aside.
Okay.
Probably
thank
should have started with that, but anyway.
It's all right, we're just getting our feet wet here. All right, any other conversation, questions, comments? Someone want to make a motion to approve the existing business rubric changes?
I move to approve the changes as submitted. Oh, thanks.
Thank
I'll second.
Thank you.
Keo, yes.
Chambers, yes.
Coker, yes.
Henderson, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Leonardo, yes.
Williams, yes.
Finney, yes.
Rayleigh, yes.
Okay, motion approved for the changes for the existing EDC business grants rubric. Thank you, everybody. Okay, next up. Let's talk about the frequency of EDC grants. This is just grant day today. So right now we're doing it 4 times a year. We have $60,000 per year to grant and give out to the different businesses. Do we want to continue on this cadence of 4 times a year? Would we rather do twice a year? What are some thoughts here?
This is Holly. I would like to see it, if not twice a year, then 2 times a year, but I just feel like 2 times is a lot. We end up spending a lot of time on this.
Okay.
Right, I would definitely prefer that we stick with either, understanding there's a lot of time that's spent by the committee on it, but either 4 times or 3 times. I guess mostly because I feel like when businesses need the money, they need the money. You know, if we went to once a year, we went to twice a year, and it's, 6 months can be a long time if it's like, am I going to do this project or aren't I? So maybe the balance of making sure that we're being responsive to businesses when they need it, and we're not spending too much time as a committee on that, or just, again, not just the committee, but the EDC, director and whatnot. I guess I would lean toward keeping either 4 or 3, maybe 3 is the balance.
I would lean to 4, given what Kristen sent out, if that could be the practice where, we're able to see the applications with the full budgets and things like that and be able to comment back and forth prior, so that we're all pretty prepared, we're not coming in and saying, oh, here's a grant application. So I think if we could have that as a practice, that 4 times a year. This went pretty quickly today because I think we all kind of knew what was coming. So,
sorry, if I can just clarify.
Yeah.
The going back and forth wasn't before the meeting.
No.
I mean, so just, I just
Yeah.
want to make, you said, we can get it
Yeah,
ahead of
right,
time and then go
right.
back and forth. I want to make sure there was no, obviously, there's no discussion before. You mean just right now?
Yeah.
Because we were all
Prepared.
prepared, because we had it in time to look and consider the rubric and the businesses. Just so everyone's
Thank you for
clear
the
on that.
clarification.
Unfortunately, we can't, I mean, it'd be nice if you could go back and forth and get some of that done ahead of time, but we
Yeah.
are not allowed to do that. So we have to talk about it live here.
So just being new, do we have an average of how many grants we get every time we go through this process? Any idea?
No, it's gone anywhere from a high of 10 to probably a low of 2 or 3.
Okay.
So just generally, I think twice a year doesn't give the board enough flexibility. So depending on how many grants you give, like now the board is or the committee's looked at it like roughly $15,000 per quarter, which equals the 60. So you have some flexibility if you get to the last quarter and for some reason you haven't given it all out, you could actually exceed it, or one quarter you could exceed it and then just give less the last quarter. So, the 4 to 3 is probably a good range. 2, I think, won't allow a lot of flexibility for the committee, and that will be a very busy meeting, which is fine. I mean, you can do that. That would be my only suggestion to the committee.
Yeah. I would like to also offer that the chamber help promote it more on your behalf too, from the
Sure.
town's behalf. Just because I think it's such a viable grant that so many businesses need to know about, so.
Yeah,
And
we
that
haven't.
with the dates of when they have to submit, by, that there's different options throughout the year to apply for, so.
Yes, and that has to be updated depending on the outcome of this and our
Okay.
application. Sometimes we've been off by a month. Right now, it says August, and we did it in September,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah, and I think the chamber's gonna add a link, to the EDC on our, and especially about the grant. I think it's a great option, so, yeah.
Anyone want to make any further discussion? Holly, go ahead.
Yeah, I can live with 3, even 4. Possibly because we are streamlining this process so much now, and it's done a lot of work. We've all sat and talked about it a lot. There's some other things we can do website-wise and streamlining things that make it a little bit clearer, that it makes it a little bit easier, as this one went really well today, I thought, for all the reasons that Karen Henderson mentioned, so.
Okay.
Sandy, can I ask one more question?
Of course,
Is that
yeah.
okay? And just, again, being newer, we have $60,000 that the town allots us for these grants. Come, whatever the month would be that we'd be doing our last round, April, May, before the end of the fiscal year. Does it have to be spent? Does it roll over?
It doesn't have to be spent. So it's an article, so it is available over multiple fiscal years.
Okay, so we don't end up in that fourth quarter like everybody gets a.
Well, so
You
the
get it.
timing's a little weird because it is a reoccurring warrant. So it gets, assuming the town votes it in every March, it gets reappropriated. So that 60,000 then replenishes in March. So the timing, it's not really tied to a calendar year or a fiscal year, it's tied to that.
I see.
So
Yeah.
the timing's a little goofy.
Right, the other thing, though, is let's say we don't spend 10, then at annual town meeting, we request 50. We just get back
Right.
to 60.
Which is what we did. Yeah, that's a good point. That's what we did
That's what
last
we
year.
did, okay.
We
We
haven't
don't
had.
have we
So
don't
it's
have
not like
70
70,
next
yeah.
year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in support for 4 times a year to continually to offer that money available to business, yes.
All right, do you want to make a motion?
Well, I think if we're leaving it as is, we don't
Just leave it as
necessarily
is?
need a motion. We're just
We'll just leave it as
passing
is.
over,
Okay.
making a change, I guess, right?
Good point.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyone have any? Good? All right. Keeping it at 4.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Jenny, you're up now. I'm done.
I actually have a presentation, so.
All right.
Jenny had a great morning.
I did.
Little traffic. Fresh Monkey should have brought you a
I wish
smoothie.
I had fresh monkey.
Fresh monkey and a donut would have set you all straight today. Yep.
For context, I made my own smoothie and it exploded all over me.
Wow.
Yeah, they thought you chopped off a finger or something.
What?
Fresh monkey
Seems
There you
like
go.
serendipity. Never making your own smoothie again.
And Jenny, just for the people that are watching that don't know you, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your role.
Yeah, definitely. My name is Jenny Gingras. I'm the Director of Planning. So before I get into the presentation on the Highway Business Zoning District, I just wanted to remind everybody that the downtown plan is complete and it's on the website. So I'm showing it up here so everybody can see it that's watching. So if you go to our planning department page, we do have a list of projects, and then you can see the link to the downtown plan here. It's pretty extensive. There's a lot of detail in it, a lot of data. I'm very impressed with the completion of the plan and what the content is in it. So I would encourage anyone to read it and take a look. It includes things like economic development recommendations, zoning recommendations, and then also things related to transportation and the recommendations for how to orient the Rotary. So a lot of data in there. It's quite a large document, so it might not load here. Oh, there we go. So this is what it looks like after you download it, and it's 44 pages on here. But we'll also have some printed copies soon if anyone wants to come in and grab one. Okay.
Scott and Holly, can you see that on the screen coming up?
I did, but it's gone now.
Yeah, I'm going to switch over now to the highway business zoning article, unless you have any questions on the downtown plan. No, that's good. Okay. So we have an article that will be going to town meeting in October for the highway business district development, and this will replace the existing section 6.2 of the zoning bylaw, which I'll explain a little bit more about what's in there on a later slide. So for those of you that are not familiar, the highway business district runs along Route 9. It starts at the town line for Northborough and then continues along Route 9, ends at the intersection of Connector Road and Route 9. So that area highlighted in brown along Route 9 is where the zoning district is. This slide just shows the current uses that are allowed in that zoning district per the zoning bylaw. So you can see there's a few that are allowed by right and a few uses that are allowed by special permit. That's not what's changing in this bylaw, but I just wanted to point it out. And then on the right side, we have the table of dimensional controls, which just tells us the dimensions for any new construction or alterations. But really the significant thing we're looking at here is the requirement for the minimum open space, and that is currently 60% in the highway business zoning district. One of the things that we did was we compared it to our dashboard communities. So these are communities that are similar to us in size, finances, things like that. And you can see that Westborough is quite a bit higher than other communities. So from a planning and economic development point of view, we look at that in terms of competition. If someone's coming in looking to open up a business, they're going to look at the zoning first and talk to us and what the requirements are. And where we have a 60% open space requirement, which is quite high compared to other communities, that puts us a little bit behind. Okay, so currently in the zoning bylaw, section 6.2 only applies to multifamily development in that zoning district. So it describes, based on that use, what you can do with a multifamily use. It does not cover any other types of uses. So in the current bylaw, through a special permit for the multifamily use, the applicant can also request a waiver to dimensional, parking, and other sign requirements. which includes open space. So right now, a developer could come in and for a multifamily project and ask for a reduction on the open space or a reduction on the setbacks, a reduction on the parking, things like that. So this revised bylaw would allow for this same flexibility, but for all types of developments through a special permit from the planning board. So that is something that we were looking at after speaking with developers, other town staff, on businesses coming into that area. What would get them to want to do more development in that area? And that was one of the things, allow for more flexibility. This also changes in that there's height and setback flexibility to accommodate sustainable features such as solar energy storage and heat pump equipment. Right now, that flexibility isn't there in our height definitions. And it also adds additional parking requirements to accommodate bicycle parking. So that area does have the Bewalt Trail that runs adjacent to it. So what we've been starting to do is ask new developers coming in to put in accommodations for bike parking in their development. And then one of the biggest things that it does is it adds an option for open space reduction in exchange for other public benefits. So a developer can come in and ask for a reduction on that open space, but it needs to be in exchange for something else that would benefit the town. So I'll just go into a little bit more detail on that. The developer can seek an open space reduction through a special permit with the planning board in exchange for that public benefit amenity. And those can include certain things. So you can donate undeveloped land to the town. You can put sustainable design elements into your development, or you can contribute a fee, or they can do a combination. We came up with a calculation method on how to calculate the exchange for the open space reduction. Projects can earn up to 12 points. The open space requirement can't be reduced below 30% of the total lot size, which seems to be about the average compared to other towns. And then a development can choose multiple items to achieve points. So say they put solar on their building, they could put solar, and then they could also contribute a fee to help offset that open space requirement. And then these regulations will be set by the planning board in their rules and regulations. So if we ever needed to change any details for the types of things the developer could trade, we would not have to go through town meeting. It would just go through a planning board hearing. So just a little bit about the donation of land. It's based on the square footage of the reduction in the open space requirement. I have an example here, and more details are in the regulations that you can look at, but we would want to see that land transferred to either the town of Westborough or to a nonprofit organization such as a land trust. So the developer can also get points for a sustainable design, and the sustainable design features are essentially permanent elements in a development that improve environmental performance, conserve resources, and provide measurable benefits like energy efficiency, water conservation, things like that. Working with Sustainable Westborough and our sustainability coordinator, we came up with design features that we would recommend. If a developer comes in and they have some new technology or a new idea, the planning board does have the discretion to look at that also in exchange for points. We wanted to allow that flexibility. So an example here is for LEED certification. A developer can obtain 4 to 12 points depending on the type of certification. So 12 would be for a LEED platinum certification, and then 4 would be for LEED silver. Why do we want sustainable design? I think most of us know here, but It advances our sustainability goals. The climate action plan describes a lot of the benefits for sustainable design. And then there are, of course, other things that are beneficial. The developer can also opt to essentially provide a fee instead of doing the sustainable design or the contribution of land. There is a calculation. It looks really complicated up on the screen, but it really isn't when you take a close look at it. And we worked closely with the Sustainable Westborough folks and the assessor, and looking at the value of land and what is a fair amount. But for the contribution of the fee in lieu, we maxed it out at 8 points so that you can't get the full reduction, because we really don't want to see that payment. We want to see the actual sustainable design. This is my last slide, but why are we doing this? The current open space requirements in the highway business zoning district are quite high, as we saw compared to other towns, and they really haven't yielded the desired results or benefits of open space. The resulting developments are uses with large parking lots with grass medians and islands to accommodate for that open space requirement. So we see a lot of car dealerships, for example. So we really want to see the benefits of open space if we have this high requirement. The current requirements also lock the applicant into a very specific design instead of allowing for creativity in their design. So with this, we're really looking for maybe some more mixed-use developments, things like that. So if a developer is coming to the planning board, you're kind of negotiating on what you can do. And then, of course, it's a recommendation in the master plan to do many things related to this, but one thing for the Economic Development Committee is that we wanted to highlight Route 9 as a business-friendly environment, and I really think that this will help to do that. Well, thank you. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
A lot of work went into that, so yeah.
Yeah.
Questions from anybody?
So on the fee, if we find that, say, a year from now, or probably take longer than that, but that folks who are looking to develop on Route 9 decide that the fee is just the easier way to go, and so we're getting mostly fees, would it have to come back to town meeting to change the fee, to increase it, to try and push people towards those other design features? Like, what could we do there?
It would just need to go through a planning board public hearing, because we're adding that calculation into the planning board regulations instead of the bylaw to allow for that flexibility. So, we don't want to have to go back to town meeting each time if we see that that calculation's not working.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Questions?
I don't have any questions, except that this is going to be on fall town meeting, and should we be taking a vote of support for it? Or wait till next month, or not needed?
Yes, so the warrant will probably close prior to our next meeting. Probably, right?
It will, okay.
It will. It definitely will.
So we'll take a vote on it.
I mean, we could certainly vote on it after that, and we would then still state the committee's position on town floor, but we could also vote on it today.
Okay.
I feel like the presentation kind of gave us all the information we would need to vote today. So, any discussion about supporting, not supporting?
No, I feel like I'm in support of that. It all made sense to me.
Yep, same. All right, want to make a motion to,
Well, I guess that's the question. Do we make a motion to support it now, or do we wait till the warrant is closed?
When's the public hearing?
October 17th. September 17th.
Oh, it's like, oh, geez.
It's after the meeting, yeah.
So you might want to wait until, we might want to wait until our next meeting, because if the planning board makes any changes based on the feedback they get from the public hearing. I think today we could vote, if we wanted to offer the planning board any, I don't know, input, but it doesn't sound like we do, so.
Yeah, there's really no.
Yeah, so we might want to wait till
Okay.
our October meeting.
Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate
Great,
that.
thank you.
Awesome, thanks. Fred, you're up for a community development update and EDC updates, so we'll put them all
Sure.
together since it's you.
So we're still, from a business standpoint, we're still kind of on the slow side, unfortunately. We're still in that kind of, I think with the presidential election and the interest rates, hopefully both will be changing soon. So we'll see some movement on that. So there hasn't been any real major projects. There's a couple things that are in front of starting to get close to planning board, and we can talk more about that, but right now there's nothing really out there. I am happy to say, finally, I've been telling you for like 3 months, Dollar Tree has the signs up that they're open. So I'm happy to say that on Otis Street, not Otis Street, I'm sorry, Lyman and Route 9. And I'm really happy to say that Wayback Burgers finally passed all their inspections, so they're anticipating maybe Saturday-ish to open up. So you can start eating some burgers downtown, so that's a good thing.
And then has some healthy shakes and some donuts.
Yeah, I've been kind of promising you that for like 3 months, so I apologize for that. So that's come forward, so those are good things.
Nice.
On another front, with EDC, hopefully we're into some second rounds of interviews, so hopefully I'll have some much better news by this time next month on that. We're moving forward. We've gotten a lot of proposals on the wayfinding and branding for the town, so that's another incentive that we had gotten some earmarked money for. That hopefully will be moving forward, and I'll have some more on that in the coming months. So those are the highlights.
So a quick question about
Sure.
the town trick or treat without having an EDC coordinator. What's the plan, or is there no plan for that?
Well, no, I don't, obviously wouldn't abandon that. Jen Kirkland's been a major mover of that as well. So I,
Recreation event.
yeah,
Is it recreation?
Yeah.
Okay.
right,
Okay.
recreation.
Okay.
The recreation director has been kind of moving that, and that's really where it stemmed from originally, so.
Okay. I just wanted to, yeah.
It won't die completely. We'll see what the outreach is. Hopefully, we'll have somebody that can kind of jump in on that one. You know, I don't want to abandon the thought of businesses being involved in that, but
Okay.
we'll have to kind of see how that goes.
Okay.
Fred, did I see a barber shop sign, a new sign in West Meadow Plaza? A barber shop?
There is a new, that's true, too. There is a new barber shop that
Is
is
it
coming.
close to opening? I saw the sign up, so,
That I don't know.
okay.
I apologize on that.
Thank you.
Anything else the committee wants to mention? Ambassadors, John, do you have anything you want to add? Awesome, okay.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
Related to the community center, the recreation department is moving into the community center at the end of this month. So we'll be using the center more, and we're actually going to be meeting this week with the Grossmans and folks from Roach Brothers, just to, have those relationships. So.
Nice. So there's quite a bit of renovations that's going to happen, correct?
So we're in a process to identify what the renovation will be in terms of fit up for the building. But even before that, in a couple weeks, the recreation department will move their offices and start using the building and programming the building. And as well, the senior center will stay located where they currently are, but they'll be programming in that building too. So the public will be able to utilize minimally the second floor. The first floor is just sort of an open space right now, but we're talking about potentially holding elections there in March. So.
Oh, all right, cool, great. That's exciting. Awesome. Any, Scott and Holly, do you have any other business you want to mention?
No, I just thank you for all the work that you did on the road revision. That was a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, and for me, just thank Fred for the role that he plays and stepping up. I apologize for not being there in person. Hopefully, I will be soon. I'd actually had a 6 a.m. flight to Bradley this morning, but I canceled it so I could try to make it back tomorrow. Make the call. So I'll reschedule my flight to Atlanta.
Nice.
We
All
have some
right.
committed members here. We come from all other countries and other parts
I
of the
know, right? Yeah,
country here.
that's crazy. Do we have any openings for this committee? Are we full?
No, I think we're full
We're
now.
full? Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, Fred, thank you for stepping in and doing all, everything that you do. It's appreciated. All right. All right, if there's no other business, look at that, huh? 9:15. Pretty good. Shocking. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll.
Keo, yes.
Jingers, yes.
Coker, yes?
Henderson, yes.
Chapman, yes.
Leonardo, yes.
Williams, yes.
Kenny, yes.
Riley, yes.
All right, we will see you guys all in October. Thanks, everybody. Congratulations to our grantees.
That's right.
Have a great day.
Thanks.